Welcome in, Tauruses, to your monthly tarot reading. So we are on to the next, right? Northern Hemisphere, we're now in spring. In the Southern Hemisphere, we are in fall. So the seasons are changing and we're feeling it, definitely feeling that shift. Especially going from winter to spring, it's such an invigorating feeling and time, and it's like we're coming out of hibernation. We're feeling we're the yearning to get out more and move more, right? Our bodies, our minds are wanting more activity. We want to get out, enjoy the outdoors, and just feel the energy of the sun again, and that's always amazing. So in honor of spring, I have the Flower Medicine Oracle deck. So I'm going to pull a couple cards from that. And Taurus, for you, I'm actually trying out this deck for the first time. And for some reason, I felt drawn to this deck for this reading. And don't mind that it is kind of Halloween themed, has Halloween themed pictures. The actual art on the tarot cards, though, are so beautiful. And it's not necessarily very Halloween-y besides the jack-o'-lanterns. So I felt inclined to use it. I am breaking it in because I have not used it yet. So Taurus says, how have you guys been? How has life been? Energies. We are moving in. We've just moved out a very intense month. I always film most of the videos, the monthly oracles, the month before. So what's interesting is I don't necessarily know yet how March closed, but we're gonna pretend. It was a very intense month. We had a huge shift in energy with that Virgo full moon eclipse. And then moving through the end of March, and now we're moving into April. So on the positive for this month, we have Venus in retrograde and Mercury, and those are going to finally go direct. So we're going to feel a bit more outward movement, outward action in regards to communication, and also relationships and resources or abundance, because Venus also kind of rules kind of relationships and resources. So yeah, let's take a look and see what's going on. If you're new, welcome in. This is, again, for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Tauruses, or you might also be a cross watcher. So let's see what's going on this month for you guys. We're actually going to be moving into, the sun will move into Taurus the end of April, so that'll be your birthday time. So I guess for those of you who have birthdays in April, happy birthday. All right, so we have Genestra. So these are actually, like I said, the flower oracle deck. So these are different flowers. That's the good luck card. And then Crocus, Nourishment, and Sunflower, Hope. So definitely feel like, April's a lucky month for Tauruses. I do feel like there's like a shift in the wind where maybe you haven't felt so lucky, but I do feel like there's something that's going to happen in April for you that is going to go your way. I think there's also, to me, this nourishment and hope. I think April's definitely a time just in line with spring. It's this time to nourish yourself, get out in nature, sit in the sun, get some sun on your skin. Just like there's some nourishment that needs to happen. And I feel a lot of it is like self-nourishing, like nourish yourself, your soul. Maybe, the winter's been rough. Maybe the beginning of the year has been a little rough. So it's just this time to really do what's right for you. And I do feel like things are kind of looking up more in April. And, you know, with the sun coming in more and things blooming and blossoming, I definitely think that is definitely a metaphor for you, Tauruses. I definitely think it's in line with that spring energy. And there's hope that, you know, maybe there's a shift. Maybe some changes happened and you're kind of on the other side of it. And there's hope now of kind of you're in a better place and that things are going to, you know, kind of continue to look up for you. So I like that for you guys. All right, let's dive into the tarot. So we have the Two of Swords underneath. The Sun, look at that, 2 suns. And that the sun in this card looks like that sunflower. Ace of Wands, oh my, Ace of Cups, 7 of Wands, and then the Wheel of Fortune, and I'm going to take this one, the Emperor. And I really feel that Emperor is you. That is Aries energy, but I feel like you are really standing in your power this month. So I just wanted to read because I talked about it in the, maybe it was the Aries zodiac reading, but I just want to tell you, so the themes for April is actually action, confidence, and leadership. And that's very Aries energy, and I'm seeing this for you too. So I feel like you are kind of elevating up just in your life as a leader, like taking the lead in your life, making things happen, making changes that are for your highest good here. I do feel like you're coming out of a place that you felt stuck and maybe you weren't sure of, maybe you were kind of contemplating a decision in your life, or maybe felt really blocked as far as like happiness. Like, why do I never feel like happiness, you know, happens for me or things work out for me? But I think, again, like I said, this is changing for you. And look at this. To me, there's really happiness coming in. And like, so this is like total new beginnings for you. Emotionally, relationship wise, and also like passion. I feel like there's passion coming back in your life. You know, maybe you're starting to create. If you're a creative person, you're being inspired to create more. I think you're going to get your creative spark back this month. And, you know, it is divine timing here, Wheel of Fortune. So something definitely, I said your luck is changing. That's definitely the Wheel of Fortune card. And I feel like you're finally standing like tall in confidence in yourself and standing up for yourself. And, you know, you're setting good boundaries for yourself. You're making decisions that are more respectful of yourself. If you've been in the past, maybe there's patterns around, you know, you always being a yes person or doing what everyone else wanted, but you're starting to stand your ground and kind of create and do things that are better for you and nourishing yourself. So definitely like this energy here. The Hierophant. 10 of Pentacles. Ace of Swords. Okay, so you've already have 3 of the 4 aces here. So major starts this month, new beginnings. You could be starting something new. You could just be like starting a whole new life. You know, if maybe you were in a relationship or a marriage, a long-term relationship that did end already, I feel like this is something that ended. And you're creating something, a new version of your life that is more in line with you. And I feel like potentially for some of you, you've always kind of overlooked yourself and your dreams and desires and needs for your relationship or children or whoever, family, friends. And it's like a time for you. And when I pulled the Hierophant card, I almost felt like this, like I really felt that Libra energy, or even the Judgment card. There's some sort of reconciliation happening with more internally in yourself in regards to maybe, again, programs, ideology, things that you really were ingrained with, probably since childhood, that you believed, that you followed, that you bought into. And that, again, could be family related, ancestral. I mean, that could be religious, again, cultural, anything like that, where you're kind of told, like, hey, this is how we think, this is what we believe, this is how we live our lives. These are the traditions we follow. And like, I feel like there's some sort of new, it's like a new you, like learning who you are, finding things that more align with you with the Ace of Swords, like really standing in your authenticity, and like not being ashamed or feeling guilty about it anymore. And I feel like there is some new abundance that you're creating yourself when you start to align with that authenticity. And I do feel like big shifts start happening, because that is true for everyone. When we're not living authentically, we're not aligning with energies and not taking outward action that bring in more things that feed our soul, that feed our emotions, our mind, our body. Because it is our authentic self that's always in our intuition that's going to guide us to the next best thing, or the next higher path that's just going to continue to elevate us and align us with our bliss, right? Our abundance, align us with resources to help us, express our authenticity, and so on and so forth. So I see some really big shifts here. There's like a balancing out. Yeah, transformation, death with the Hierophant here. So it's the end of almost like an era. It's the end of an old way of doing things. Like, for example, maybe you grew up Catholic and you were always Catholic, and then all of a sudden you go through this like spiritual awakening and decide, I'm not, I don't believe in Catholicism anymore, or I don't even believe in organized religion. So that's going to be a huge transformation for you, a huge ending to that old you and what you thought, what you believed. And I kind of almost believe it is more aligned with this death card is more aligned with that, of an old you that wasn't really based on authenticity. So there is something for you. It's like a new you in a theme of authenticity this year. And when it comes to like confidence and leadership, it's you actually having the confidence to step out in the new you, in the face of, maybe people that don't agree. And that's okay. The Empress with the Ten of Pentacles. So we have the Empress and the Emperor. Two of Cups. So this could be a new relationship. This is just a new, really new, this is self-love too. To me, with the Ace of Swords, that can, like I said, it's really that authenticity, that truth, standing in you, in your truth. And the Two of Cups is like that self-love. And I like the Nourishment card here. And the Empress too is very a nurturing, nourishing energy. So I feel like you're really taking time to nurture, could be, the parts within you that never got the nurturing energy from maybe your parents or your family or your partners, your relationships. And so this is a new way of approaching life. I don't feel like things like are happening too fast, because I think this is a time to kind of take it slow and just ensure that you're taking care of yourself as you kind of gain. It's kind of like having sea legs. Like, it's almost, I feel like you're in a new situation, a new life, where you're just like, hey, I'm getting used to this new me, this new reality. Especially if you've been married for a long time or in a relationship for a long time. It's like maybe you're, single now, or you're not in that relationship, and it's kind of like, okay, what is this new life that I want to lead and create? Six of Pentacles, Page of Cups, and look at, I said Judgment, and there it is. So there's definitely a new awakening happening, and this could have really happened in the last 6 months. And the Empress is really Libra and Taurus energy, so that is you. So we have, so far we have Aries energy here. We have Scorpio, and Taurus and Libra. So if you have a connection with one of those signs, but there's definitely this balancing out. I said I felt that with the Hierophant card, and then of course we get the Six of Pentacles. So it's just kind of confirming that. And I do feel there is something with the full moon. I know there's a moon in a lot of these cards, but this really hit me with kind of this. This is very Libra energy too, right? With the balancing of the scales, and then the full moon behind this figure. I immediately thought of the Virgo full moon in March, and I feel like that was a pivotal shift for you, and it really helped to create some, what's happened since then has been to help rebalance you, like more, again, emotionally, mentally, something like that, because of maybe things that had happened up until then. I think maybe you went through a big ending, and are still going through the transformation. But part of that transformation is helping to balance you out energetically and to create a more equitable relationships, for one, right? There could also be an offer coming up in April. So for some of you, this could, with the Ten of Pentacles and the Page of Cups, could refer to a new offer, maybe in regards to work or receiving more money or resources that's helping you to create more stability in your life or more abundance. And the Empress is, is really the fertile energy, the motherly, fertile energy of the tarot deck. So I feel, again, like you're really growing and creating this new life. There's something really about a new life here for you, Tauruses. And Judgment, it's again like this, you're hearing the call. I definitely think you're taking action on this, or you already have, and you're following this new path. Because you have Judgment and then you have 3 aces. So, I mean, really, that's, again, a new start. I'm kind of surprised we don't see the Fool. Let's just see, what's the Death and Hierophant about? The Moon. Yeah, 3 of Cups. So, the moon really refers to our unconscious mind, our deep emotional body. So this hits right in line with what I was saying earlier about, it seems to be more the Death card, and the Hierophant is speaking to, you're going through a huge internal transformation and change here. So this is more in line with really reevaluating your beliefs, how you feel about, like, maybe your past, and kind of really doing the work to assess, like, this was what I used to be, and this is kind of, again, this new me and what I believe now. There is some impact here to your connections here. So the 3 of Cups can refer to, like, your connections, even social connections or friendships. So something could be shifting there as well. Because of the big shifts you're changing, like maybe your values don't align anymore. If you had a lot of friends who are really religious, for example, let's just say, and that's not kind of, how you're proceeding in this new kind of authentic you, There could be a huge ending of certain relationships, or just changing in how those relationships look in your life. It doesn't necessarily mean they have to end, but you really realizing that, again, we don't see eye to eye anymore. We don't have the same ways of living. So, they'll change a little bit, or a bit in big ways. What's the Page of Cups? Four of Wands. So this could be a new, like meeting someone new. In this new connection here, I feel like is more in line with where you're at now, and aligns with your new authentic self, and supports you. So it's almost like offering this new offer of love. And I think there is love here. And this to me with the Four Wands is about, creating someone who wants to really build, a strong relationship with you, and maybe even wants to, build a life with you, and looking at, hey, like, what does this look like with us together? Page of Pentacles. Yeah, someone's really seeing your value here. So whether it's a relationship, or like I said, maybe an offer of work, someone sees your value, and there's an offer here. And I think it will impact your kind of living situation, or your personal life, like what your life looks like now, where you live, your commitments and things like that. So I do think that's shifting here. And I'm just going to get one for the Empress, but I kind of feel like you are the Empress and the Emperor here. You're like really encompassing this new, like, divine masculine and feminine balance. It's interesting too that I'm, now that it's coming out of my mouth, if you watch, it was a weekly video for, I think it was week of March 17th. You might want to go back and take a look at that. But I talked about that the Virgo full moon is really opening up these new energies that's creating more balance within the masculine and feminine sphere. And that's kind of what I'm seeing here. It could also be for some of you that coming into your life now is the Emperor, or someone who's more like a perfect soulmate for you. Eight of Swords and the Three of Pentacles. I do feel like you kind of were birthing this new shift for a long time. And I feel like you felt stuck for a long time, but it was almost, again, like this new life, this new manifestation was gestating, like just in line, like metaphorically, like a pregnancy, where it's like, you have to gestate and let it grow. And it's the same concept for manifesting something. Like, you first have to align the energies, and it's more etheric until it manifests in the physical. So there's something about you feeling stuck for a long time, and really trying to, like, maybe you were trying to work in the past. Maybe there was a past relationship or situation that you were really trying to work it out with this person or these people. It could be a work situation, but you're really trying to work together, but it was just like you could never, no matter what you did to try to make it work, it just didn't work, and you just felt really more stuck by the situation. And I think that you are now, the manifestation and the physical, the external shift is now happening. I do feel like this almost just recently happened, or is about to happen. Because I feel like you're already in this like new energy, but you're trying to like figure it out. Like, okay, I'm on this new path. I'm in this new situation. I just got to figure out what this new energy is for me. But it's interesting we end on the Judgment card. So I'm just going to get one more clarifier for the Judgment card. Six of Cups. So there is some sort of reconciliation here. So sometimes the Judgment card can also refer to like a reconciliation. The same with the Six of Cups. So I feel like you're now I can't talk. You're reconciling the past. So there's something about you're finally like integrating like patterns or traumas or woundings, or just like relationships that didn't work out. You're finally reconciling all this and kind of letting it, you're cutting the cords, you're cutting the ties that bind you to these people or things or situations so that you can move forward on this new path. So it's like this, you know, you're able to move forward and continue to hold on to the good things. But anything as far as, even if it was like hardcore religious background that you're finally shifting out of, I think you're finally able to reconcile like those old ideas and beliefs that, you know, it's almost like the blindfold was taken off, right? With this Eight of Swords. You may not see it in this card deck, but in most decks, like the person in the Eight of Swords is blindfolded. So maybe you felt like deceived for a long time or betrayed because it's like you thought this was truth and everyone in your life told you this was the truth. And then all of a sudden you have this awakening, which Judgment too is about awakening. And you took the blindfold off and realized like, no, none of that was true to me. And it doesn't align with me anymore. So I think the reconciliation has been happening and you're finally really awakening to your truth, right? Ace of Swords, nurturing and nourishing yourself and learning how to move forward after this new awakening. And then I think good things, we're showing good things happening here. So so if you feel like you haven't seen these happen yet, I think with the Hope card, I think that's just the divine kind of telling you like, good things are coming. So there is hope here, and it's going to start to unfold now as we're in spring now and we're moving into summertime. All right, Tauruses, a lot here. I guess I almost feel like you have to kind of like really take in the messages. And for some reason in this reading, I don't usually say this, but I kind of feel like maybe if you watch it a couple times, you'll get all the messages. And that's the thing with channeling too. Like my words and you listening to the reading is actually energy, and it's implanting like messages that you needed to hear. So you watch this video for a reason, I believe, especially when it comes to messages, books, readings, YouTube videos. Like we get information when we most need it. And it's almost like we have to hear it and then we have to like integrate it and let it sit for it to really come together. And I feel like this video for you Tauruses, it's exactly spot on. So if you watch it a couple times, I do feel like you're almost going to pick up on different messages that you didn't hear the first time. And I don't normally say that, so it's not like I'm trying to get you to watch my videos more. Like, yeah, definitely like there's a reason I had to say that for you guys right now. Because I do almost feel too like you guys, a lot of you are looking for information right now to support you and where you're at and how you're going to move forward in a better way. All right, Tauruses, you have an amazing month. Enjoy your spring or fall, wherever you are on the planet. And again, sending love to you all. I appreciate you all, supporting me, the content, and yeah, being here. So take care for now, and I will see you in the next video.